Hi guys, welcome to Knitting with You. Today is December 4th, 2015. It is 9:20 p.m. at night for me. And today we are doing episode 5. Yay! Let me think here. We've got lots of news to share with everybody. And we'll talk about our Ha Penny Hat Knit Along. Yay! And of course the winner of that knit along and what we've got coming up for January. Sounds good. Alright, so the first thing I wanted to ask you guys about. Lizette and I have been talking. Neither one of us have a local knit night in our community. And we were thinking it would be fun to utilize the chat option on Ravelry in our group forum area where our members could all hop on one night and maybe once or twice a month, and we could all knit and chat in our chat room that we have for our Ravelry group. If this is something that interests anyone, you can PM Lizette or myself and let us know what times would be good or how long you would be available, etc., etc. This would be kind of a fun way to connect, I think, as a Ravelry group. And also, support each other when we're learning, because this podcast is all about growing with your knitting skill, which I think is awesome. Another idea that Lizette and I have been playing around with, and I think we're super excited about it. Well, I know I am. Lizette seems pretty excited too. But we were talking about a year-long sweater knit-along. Lizette has already posted a thread for this in our forum, and basically all you really need to do is read through the rules she's posted. You can knit whatever sweater your heart desires, and you have the whole year to do it. But we check in monthly, and Lizette's going to line up some really wicked prizes for the people who would like to participate. So I'm kind of super excited. I haven't done a sweater in a while. I made one for my husband last year, and I haven't done any sweater work since then. So that's what's happening with that. I've been looking at some sweaters. I think I have a pattern picked out, but we have until February to commit to our pattern. So I might switch it up. I might not. We'll see. So we also have on our thread a February poll. Our poll for our February knit along. I'm sorry. Excuse me tonight. I'm not doing any screenshots because I'm using our little laptop and I don't have a mouse for it, and to use the touchpad for everything is just ridiculous. So I'm just going to try to announce the important new threads that we have up. But our poll for February, for what we'll be doing in and along for February, I'd like to kind of explore some new techniques within our group. I know we haven't touched base with cabling or color work, so Lizette has set up an actual poll that you can vote if you'd like to do something with cables or if you'd like to try a Fair Isle. I have personally done Fair Isle before and I enjoyed it, but it was very time consuming. But I'm very happy with how it came out. I made a beanie for my husband and it took me probably 2 months to do it, and I used fingering weight. I believe it was Palette from Knit Picks. But we did that and it just came out amazing, and it's one of those bragging pieces that I have. So I'd like our members to go ahead and voice their opinion on that. You can also chatter in that thread if you would like. Lizette has already voiced her reason why she has chosen cables over color work. Me personally, I haven't done cables or color work in a while, so I'm up for either. So I will remain neutral on that poll. I'd like to announce that based on what we've seen in our member request thread and the results of our poll from December about cuff down or toe up, I think what the general feel is for our members that have commented, a lot of you haven't actually either attempted or successfully completed a pair of hand knit socks. So, with that being said, for our January sock knit along, we will construct some basic, traditional, no embellishments included, cuff down socks. Now, I've started a thread for this on our discussion board as well, and I've also posted a link to a wonderful tutorial for any of you that have not done sock knitting before. It is from knitpicks.com. It is called Kelly's Sock Class. It is very thorough in my opinion. It is what I used the first time I knit socks. There is also, I believe, a pattern for regular socks. I will try to find that and update that thread with that information as well. I just have to remember where I saw it. But I will get that out to you guys. I will also try to create little tutorial videos for you guys because me personally, I have to knit 2 at a time, and I have kind of my own little unique method of doing it, and I think for some of the viewers you might find it interesting. I actually use 3 circulars. Let's see, I always use my size 1. These are my sock knitting circulars here. They are Susan Bates cheapies, US size 1, which are 2.25 millimeters, 24-inch circulars. And when I get to filming the tutorial, I'll show you how I cast on with them and how the whole process works. But it looks scary from someone who's never attempted it before, but hopefully it'll make a lot of sense once I get going with it. But then again, I have kind of a weird, convoluted mind. I think I would like to try 2 pair, but I doubt that'll happen. I know that my babysitting will be cut back, but I don't know exactly by how much yet. So I'm not sure how much free time I will have. I think the first skein I'm going to use is right here. This is Socktopus, but I couldn't tell you the base or the colorway or anything like that. My daughter picked this out. She's been wanting me to make her socks, and she said, "Mommy, make me socks out of this." She picked it out herself, and as soon as we got home, the label came flying off, and I couldn't tell you where it went. But I believe it is a cotton nylon mix. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So I'll make peanut-sized socks with these. And then, if I have time, excuse me. Oh, it is so dry in here. We've got the pellet stove running constantly because it's been so cold. But if I have time for myself, I am going to use this very luxurious sock yarn, Guilty Pleasures. It is a superwash sock yarn. It is 75 merino wool, 25 nylon. It is a heavy fingering weight, and the colorway is called Lady of the Lake. And I really wanted to go to Rhinebeck this year, and it just didn't happen. Just didn't happen between the babysitting schedule and the funds and my own munchkins. It just didn't happen. So my friend, who lives less than a mile away from me, went. She goes every year. And she picked this up for me as a surprise gift and left it on my doorknob, and I was so happy. And so I would love to make some socks out of it. We'll see if I get to that. Also, one final word on the sock knit along. I know socks can be overwhelming, especially if you are using a traditional sock yarn, because the yarn itself is very fine. Well, it's not super fine, but it's thinner than a sport or a worsted or a DK, and it can be kind of hard to see your stitches. can seem like it takes forever to make progress sometimes. So I have a sock knitting support thread. It's called Sock Talk. Let's Talk Socks or something like that. I can't remember. But that is on there for anyone who might get stuck, hung up, have questions, concerns, or comments about socks. So you may post away there, and between all of us collectively, we should be able to get you moving along once more. The prize for the sock knit along, I have not ordered it yet. I'm kind of thinking I should wait on ordering it because it might be dependent on the person who wins the KAL. And that's the only hint I'm going to give. Well, I'll give you another hint. It is sock related. So it is sock related, and it's probably going to depend on who wins how I'm going to order it. And Lizette, I'm not telling you what it is either. But it is something that sock knitters will appreciate and will use. So, that being said, we will go ahead and move along. Let's talk about our Ha Penny Hat knit along. I know December is crazy because of all the holidays, all the different religious holidays that happen depending on what religion you might practice. So a lot of people were traveling or buying gifts or making preparations for family, but we still had 4 people, including myself, throw in and knit our Ha Penny hats. And I have to say, they all came out wonderful. Personally, I thought the pattern itself was very well written. It was very clear. The only thing that threw me off in the pattern is when the decreases began, I kind of lost sight of what was happening. Usually I can anticipate how the stitches are going to work out in a pattern, and with the decreases I kind of had to take a blind leap of faith that if I follow what's written, my hat will come out okay. And it did. So with that being said, I have to say that is probably the first pattern that I kind of doubted following, but I did it anyway. It's a little baggy, but I think that's because of the material I used. I can throw it in the dryer and it'll shrink up a little bit. But I kind of like it slouchy because it covers all my hair. I can get it all in there. That's one problem I have with hats because my hair is so thick. So I might leave it like this. I don't know. But it is soft. This is a cashmere blend. It's very soft. I love it. The stitch definition actually came out pretty well in it, I would say. I like it. I also enjoyed hearing the stories from our viewers who were knitting this piece. It was kind of, I told Lizette, it was kind of like watching a soap opera, where you know how it's going to turn out, but it's just full of all these crazy little mishap disasters along the way. For me, I needed point protectors and I couldn't find them, and the one thing I learned from this project is, in a pinch, Play-Doh will work wonders as point protectors. It is pliable enough where you can mold it just what you need, let it dry, and then you have beautiful little point protectors you can slide on and off. Yeah, that was a stroke of genius one night. I had placed my project back in the project bag, and when I went to pick it back up, I had lost a lot of my stitches, and I was so bummed about that. So I ended up creating my own point protectors out of Play-Doh. Another mishap came along when I was decreasing, and I looked down and there was this hole in my project. I had lost two stitches several rows down had unraveled, and I'm like, oh no. So I went and I had to get my crochet hook, and I held my breath, and I got it fixed, but that was frustrating. And then at the very end, I think I had like 5 rounds to go. I ran out of yarn, so I'll show you real quick. But I found something in my stash that was very similar in color, and it's actually like a baby acrylic yarn. I don't know if you can see. It's like a tad lighter. Let's see if I move it around here, if you can see it. It's really close. Yeah, there you go. You can see it a little bit. But it works out. Yes, I have squinty eyes. I have no contacts in right now, and my glasses are MIA. So, yay! Yay for small children. I love them to death, but they wreak havoc sometimes. I am pleasantly surprised. I'm always pleasantly surprised at the beauty of the finished objects that our members post. Lizette had mentioned that she was going to do a two-tone hat, so when she showed me the final pictures, I gasped, literally. Yes, it was beautiful. And because of that, you know, I got to thinking, I think that's how the color work thing came up, because I haven't done anything with colors lately. I did make another hat for one of my girls, and I put a couple stripes in it, but they were very subtle, I guess. And so I have 2 more hats to make for the kids. Yes, let me check my notes here, hang on a minute. So that is the Hot Penny hat review. I think everybody's FOs are gorgeous, and I'm kind of happy, actually I'm really happy that we did it. I am kind of sick of hats, to be completely honest, but they are very useful, especially if you're in a colder climate. I do have to say this one is very warm, and I've been wearing it for quite a while now. My 1.5-year-old kept stealing it off my head today, and it looks like a nun's cap on her because her head's so much smaller than mine, which is really cute. But it stays on her because it's shaped enough where it doesn't pop off her head, which is also I really like. Yes, I'm checking out my hat on the screen. The last thing we have to announce is the winner of the knit along, and I have to say that Lizette is the only one who completed a swatch, and even though Emma Call got hers done and it's beautiful, he didn't do a swatch. And I'm trying to remember our other participant. Excuse me for forgetting. Let me look it up real quick. I'm sure I have it here. Ha 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 ha. Baluk, your hat came out gorgeous too, and you also had kind of a setback on it, but Baluk did not complete a swatch as well. So with that being said, the winner of the knit along is Lizette. Yay, Lizette! Lizette, go ahead and pick something out within the parameters from your favorite indie shop and let me know what it is, and I will get that to you as soon as I can. Yay! If anyone has any questions or comments, please let me know. I currently have nothing on the needles right now. I'm itching to cast on some socks, but I'm going to wait until I have more energy so I can knit these socks with you guys with the tutorials, so you can kind of see my process of it. I think tonight I'll just try to scan through some more sweater patterns and decide for the sweater knit along. I love that it's laid back and we have all year to do it. Anyway, it is getting late for me, and I hope you all are doing swell. Once again, I love all the feedback we get from our members. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you guys enjoy yourselves in our group, and that's all I'm going to say for now. Happy knitting!